its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Alongside of me, Alex Nafusi.
Hey, buddy, what's going on, man?
Hey, Alex, good morning to you. It is September 12, 2015, and a gorgeous day outside. Hey, it's still summertime out there, and summertime means real estate time. And there's Dan Dubinsky from Skyward Realty. Good morning, Dan. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, guys. Nice to see you.
Looking great as always, buddy.
Well, thank you.
I checked out a couple shows ago. I wrote down that, home buying season in Michigan, it really changed, and it's not seasonal, I don't think, anymore. I truly think it was when I first got in the industry 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It seemed like it was just always busier. But since 2007, Dan, because of the home values, they went down to nothing. It brought out a lot of buyers really throughout the whole year. It never really stops.
Yeah, we've had some of our best months in December, November, January. People always think it goes hand in hand with the school season, and it does. There is a certain push at the end, but what you do realize is that people that are looking in those months are serious, and they're really going to do something. They're not just out there kicking the tires.
Right, and I'll tell you, just absolutely gorgeous day out there if you're still out there looking at homes. It's football season, and we want to welcome our show back and all our listeners back. We took off for Labor Day.
I missed you guys last week. I didn't know what to do with my life. Nowhere to go on Saturday morning.
I'm sure you had some fun last weekend. And it's, of course, fall is the high school football season and cider mill season for me because I love those donuts. So a lot of great things here to do in Southeast Michigan, including, is football pointing all their eyes here in the state with Michigan State's game this evening. We got the Michigan game coming up this afternoon. A lot of exciting stuff. Of course, the Detroit Lions will be kicking things off tomorrow afternoon here live on 97.1 The Ticket also. We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Got a couple texts already. The office is full of loan officers. If you need an approval letter, that's the key. If you want to learn what you qualify for, you need to take a look at your credit. Call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. You're going to save a ton of money and definitely get that approval letter in hand. Alex, rates still have obviously all-time lows. We don't have to talk about it. But the FOMC, that meeting's coming up next Wednesday, and this is probably the first look or opportunity where the Fed could move that Fed funds rate.
I think the market's really reacted, in a negative way towards, the increase of interest rates. Anytime the Fed mentions rates moving rates up, the market tanks. I mean, we saw Dow down 500 points, 400 points, and I think that's really a reaction to, the Fed hinting at an increase in rates. And I just listen, man, rates are going to go up. The odds of them going up are way better than them going down from where they are right now. I mean, they're not going to go to zero. But the whole rate talk, I don't want to hear it, man.
Well, you put it into a dollar amount of what that means for it going up. Yeah. It's really not very significant, is it?
You got people, what did you get? 3 7/8 versus 4 1/8. It just, I just don't want to hear it. I mean, people spend, it's like, listen, I love Costco. I do. I think it's great. But so you're going to wait in line at Costco to save 3 cents on a gallon of gas. What's your time worth? I had an attorney the other day that's got, got his spreadsheet out and the other day, and he's like, I've got this guy in California, and he says he can do an eighth lower than you for $100 less in costs and this and that. I'm like, dude, what's your billing rate per hour? And he's like, I charge $3.50. I'm like, dude, you've already cost yourself.
Yeah, you should have been billing someone.
You should have been billing someone. You're wasting your time Googling lowest interest rates or whatever lowest closing costs. You should be working for a client, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I think people are predisposed to ask about interest rates. That's the number one thing when they come into a mortgage banker and say, what is that? And then they're going to compare and shop. But what they have to realize is the service as well. That comes into play. Getting the job done, number one, right?
I like to shine a light on a lot of different aspects of the home purchase, definitely. And sometimes it's just pure lack of knowledge. And again, doesn't mean you're not ready to buy a house. It means maybe you need more information. Recently, I actually asked a client, I said, other than the interest rate conversation we're about to have, what else can we talk about? And there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. And I said, oh, no, there is. There's a lot to talk about.
Like you said,
home inspection, all these different things that could come up.
Like you said the other day, Harvey, people, we always assume people know, but they don't know what to ask about. Right, they really don't. And there's other aspects of the transaction that are really more important than that interest rate.
Yeah, definitely. 248-539-9797. We're excited to take some phone calls from you this morning. Again, the Fed avoided some drama this week. Ahead of the Fed's meeting, they're probably going to do something. Whether they actually move the Fed funds rate up, there may not even be a correlation to the mortgage interest. There's a possibility, believe it or not, that it actually goes down. The mortgage rates could go down if the Fed funds moves up. So there's no direct correlation. However, because of the way the economy is and the way things roll, economic stability, yes, we could see a little bit of change here in the coming months. Again, we don't know when it's going to come. Take care of business now. Again, if you're buying a house, you have nothing to worry about at all. If you're saving money and refinancing, Alex, does it really matter? Again, most of the families that we're still refinancing now probably refinanced in the last 4 or 5 years on a 30-year mortgage. We're getting a lot of those families back into the 15-year mortgages and 20-year mortgages. It really doesn't matter because their rate not only goes lower, but they're reducing their term by 5 to 10 years.
Well, I think cutting the term down is a great way to go. I mean, there's so many people that they refinance. They say, I saved $150 a month. Well, that's great, but you got to remember you're starting your entire term over again. So if you're 7 years into a 30-year fixed, you have a 37-year mortgage.
Yeah, and the goal is, right, like you always say, to pay the loan off.
But to pay it off, yeah. And I mean, it's not. I mean, obviously, everyone has every situation's different, and every client, has a different scenario. They could have credit card debt, or kids in college, and maybe freeing up some monthly cash is a good way to go. But for people that refinance just to save money, keep making the same payment or shorten the term. I mean, the goal is not to free up money to go buy a depreciating asset. It's not to get, it's not to go buy. Not knocking all the lake people and the water people, but I mean, it's not to go buy, a boat. I mean, don't refinance your house to go buy, something that's going to depreciate over the course of time.
Definitely. 248-539-9797 while we take your phone calls here. We'll start things off this morning. Let's go out to Jesse in Allington. Good morning, Jesse. You're live on the ticket.
How you doing?
What's up, Jesse?
I bought my first house about a year ago, and I got into an FHA because I didn't have enough positive sources of credit.
Okay.
So since then, raised my credit score, paid all the bills, utilities, everything on time, and I try to get into a conventional to get rid of the PMI on this.
Okay. So your credit was bad, that's why you went FHA?
Yeah, I mean, I had like a 640 score.
Okay. Is your credit better now?
Yeah, I'm like 730.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to go, man. I mean, with a 730 credit score, I mean, we can do, even if the house hasn't really gone up in value, we can do what's called lender-paid mortgage insurance. Even if you have 5% equity, we can cover the PMI for you. What rate are you paying right now?
I was pre-approved for 4 1/8, and the bank gave me $3,000 at closing to take 4 1/4, and I took that knowing that I would refinance anyway. So I took that money and
that's actually it's a decent deal. So you're 4 1/4 right now, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, if we could probably keep you in the same low to mid 4s and drop that PMI. What's the mortgage amount?
The mortgage is for $210.
Oh yeah, you're gonna save.
Yeah, you're gonna save a lot of money.
$190 a month easily.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jess, you know what you just said, Jess, and we're going to let you go here in a second, but you know what you just said was absolutely brilliant. You actually took a higher rate. You're the only caller who's going to call in probably this year and say, hey, I took the higher rate because it made more sense for me. I was able to get a lender credit back, reduce my closing costs. I knew that one day my credit was going to be improved, and now here you are a couple years later, you're going to end up taking advantage of that. What a great move. I mean, I don't even know if you made a great move on that.
I appreciate it. It ended up being like it would have taken 200 payments to equate the difference in the monthly payment. So I just took the cash.
Oh yeah, it's a great.
Yeah, you said it, we didn't. You said it, we didn't. The higher rate benefited you. Is that crazy? It sounds crazy.
I appreciate you guys' time.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank
Come
you.
to the show, buddy. See you.
Thanks a lot. 248-539-9797. I love that. Interesting call.
Hold on, I got to go back to the saving money on gas question.
Yes.
So Perry Stevens, my buddy,
Yes.
guy that owns the Allstate Tree, the lumberjack. He's a real live lumberjack. said he's saved 12 cents a gallon at Costco, which is awesome, man. So Perry, if you have a 25-gallon tank and you save 12 cents,
Let's go at 20. Do the math easier for us.
Well, I already did. I already went.
Oh, okay.
Jesse.
Okay.
You saved $3, Perry. So you waited in line for a half an hour to save $3, which means your billing rate is $6 an hour. I guarantee if you were cutting trees down with your entire crew for $6 an hour, you'd be out of business.
He could be at my front house, in the front of the house right now. We have a tree for him. So, yeah. Tell him to get on the ball there.
Unbelievable.
Get out of that line.
Come on, Perry.
The line's like around the block. It's a 2-hour wait.
Exactly.
It's not
You
always.
can park and go in and get a hot dog and have lunch.
Is it okay to get gas and save a few bucks if there's no one in line?
If there's no one in line, I'm all for it. But you have to think of what's your time worth, and it just goes back to well, what's your rate? Well, what do you want it to be, dude?
People like to brag about how much they saved on gas for some reason. I really believe that's.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. I hear it all the time.
248-539-9797.
I met my mom at Starbucks for coffee yesterday.
Yeah.
And
What was she happy about?
She brought in Jimmy John's.
Save it at the Starbucks. Nice. It's embarrassing.
I love you so much, Mom, but I did that. Sorry.
Wait a minute. That music says we're up against a break right now. We've got so much to share with you. Again, if you're out there purchasing a house, we've got tons of great information. Dan Dubinsky in the house to share with you. A lot of real estate insider tips. Stay with us.
Business travelers, check out Flint's Bishop Airport. Easy access off of I-75 and I-69. Free Wi-Fi and business center, close affordable parking, and great jet service around the world, including non-stops to Chicago. Book now from Flint, the smart way to fly.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Meet bros Jake, Kenny, and Paul.
I got next, okay? I guess.
They may seem like just a bunch of couch bro-taters, but thanks to Mountain Dew Kickstart, something profound is about to take place.
Hi!
Holy moly! The energizing blast of dew and juice is now entering their mouths. Before you know it, they'll be rolling on out of here and sliding across the dance floor as if it was strewn with the peels of bro-nanas. Then this trio will spend the rest of their waking hours whispering sweet, sweet broetry into the ears of any dame that will listen. And listen they shall. These guys are bro-professionals. Let's do this. We're coming, world! It all starts with a kick. Mountain Dew Kickstart with dew, juice, and just the right amount of kick. Now available in 6 flavors that taste good. Yum.
Mountain Dew invites you to come and join the fun at Zender's Splash Village Hotel and Water Park, featuring a retractable roof where it's always sunny and 84 degrees. For reservations, visit splashvillage.com. At Zender's Splash Village, we're making memories one family at a time.
It's summertime, and that means summer sports and summer workouts in summer heat. Unfortunately, it can also lead to sudden cardiac death for student athletes that have hypotrophic cardiomyopathy. That's a condition that isn't normally screened for in a routine physical and can lead to disaster for a student athlete out in this summer heat. The good news is that you can help make sure summer sports are safe for our student athletes by donating to 97 Won the Ticket's Student Heart Check program. It's a quick and easy way to save a life. Just go to cbsdetroit.com/student heart check.
Carl's Golfland, we pride ourselves on having the biggest in-stock selection of name brand golf equipment. But every year, that same huge selection creates a situation that strikes fear into the hearts of every member of the Carl's Golfland team. Counting all that stuff is something we'd rather not face. So we're having a pre-inventory clearance sale with prices so low, we're hoping everything flies right out the door. Save on Cobra BioCell Plus drivers, worth $399, now just $149.99. And men's Adidas Gripmore golf shoes, originally $139, just $79.99. Or how about Callaway Mac Daddy 2 vintage wedges, worth $119, now only $97.99. Plus, Carl's is a place with special discounts for league and outing prizes. At Carl's pre-inventory clearance, find more of everything you need to play the game at prices you can't beat and save us from Carl's Golfland. When all you do is golf, you do golf best. Bloomfield Hills, Plymouth at St. John's, or carlsgolfland.com.
Football starts this Sunday, but at DraftKings.com, it's already time for the big game. $10 million in prizes are up for grabs in the biggest one-week fantasy football contest ever. That means every play in every game could take you closer to a life-changing payday. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time. Use promo code Detroit at DraftKings.com to play for free for your shot at the $2 million top prize in this Sunday's Millionaire Maker event. That's Detroit for free entry now at DraftKings.com.
Today, put on your maize and blue and head out to Ann Arbor's Pioneer Park for some Michigan tailgating with the 97 Won the Ticket Street Team and the Ticket Chick. 97 Won the Ticket's Pat Caputo broadcasts live from 10 to game time as the Michigan Wolverines take the field at the Big House for the first time this year when they face Oregon State. Find out more at 97wontheticket.com. Donate to 97 Won the Ticket Student Heart Check program and you can help ensure that every student athlete's heart is healthy enough for sports. Donate at cbsdetroit.com/student heart check. Can't get an open phone line? Use the Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge ticket text. 97136. It's always open. Don't overpay. Get into Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge today.
This fall, we think what's possible. You're on the verge of having a life that most people can't even imagine. Bradley Cooper in the Limitless series premiere, CBS Tuesday, September 22nd.
CBS new fall season, powered by AAA Michigan.
Lions, Chargers. The regular season kicks off tomorrow at 4:05 on Lions Radio. 97.1 The Ticket.
We are broadcasting live here. It's 9:16. You're listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Good morning if you're just waking up. Man, football is all over the town. It's going to be fun today. 248-539-9797 if you want to talk about mortgages and real estate. Hey, you could do that football stuff all day, right after our show starting at 10 o'clock. Forget about taking care of your financial matters. You can move right into football mode. No problem at all. Get the grill cooked up.
That's great advice from a veteran banker, Harvey.
Yeah.
Forget about your finances. And
right after 10 o'clock.
That's phenomenal advice, buddy.
We've got your namesake on the line here. This is an iffy call. Alex from Ann Arbor. Good morning. Why are you calling us? Don't you got football in town?
Yeah, I got football in town, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be doing some tailgating today myself, actually. Yeah, I'm a loan officer in Ann Arbor, actually, so I like listening to you guys in the morning sometimes. And
cool, thanks.
One thing I think that's coming up in the industry here soon that I don't hear a lot of people touch on, in fact, I hear a lot of lenders lament on quite a bit, is the new regulation with the TRID laws.
Yeah.
And I think that's something actually from the client side for them to get excited about, because I think, I've been doing it for about 8 years. And for the first time, I think that the documentation that we're going to be kicking out, in the first couple of days of the disclosures, the new loan estimates, and then the closing disclosures at the end are so much more clear than the TILA RESPA documents and the GFE. When you combine all three of those together, they're so much more clear and well outlined. I think that we're actually going to be able to communicate all this to borrowers better. You guys were just talking about how, there's the more important things in the interest rate. I think that it's going to be easier to see now for those customers. And I think that instead of as an industry getting more upset about more regulation, we should get excited about it, because I think that it's going to make our job a little simpler, and it's going to make the client's aspect a little easier to understand.
I don't talk about it because it's boring, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a simple document. It outlines the transaction in more detail. It makes it clearer for borrowers to understand. But I mean, it's boring. I mean, no one's sitting here and had me read guidelines all morning.
Well, I'll tell you this, Alex. I applaud. Alex, I applaud your call.
The guidelines to protect the borrower. You know what I mean? I understand that it's boring, but it's to a point now where there's a lot of protection for them, and it's something that they should know and. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then get excited about this.
No, definitely. You make a great point. Again, what he's mentioning is new forms are coming out on October 3rd.
Alex, thanks, buddy.
The TRID is the Truth in Lending form combined with the RESPA disclosure form, and then the loan disclosure form. That's loan disclosure, and then the closing disclosure form lies out all the closing fees and everything. But the initial forms that now get sent out to the borrowers moving forward are going to be a little bit easier to understand. Yeah, absolutely. And I do think that's a great thing. I really applaud the call, because you don't hear a lot. We don't get a lot of calls from loan officers or real estate agents because they're afraid to call. And this is a valid point, that there's new clarification. Some of these documents are going to be clear and easier to understand.
Well, the fact from a realtor standpoint, we know that the clients are getting the numbers ahead of time, right? They have a chance to review them. Hopefully it'll make a little bit less confusion at closings. Closings make it a little bit smoother. So that, from that standpoint, I can definitely see
but here's you have to understand as a realtor, though. So you usually need, a title company usually wants 48 hours to schedule. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the client needs to get the docs 3 days ahead of time now. So now you're talking 5 days.
Right.
You guys better take off that 30-day closing time frame.
Oh, we have 45.
45. You already go 45 days closing, start to finish at minimum.
Well, set up the transaction to be successful at the front. Again, anytime you put some, a shorter time frame, the pressure's on. There's just too many components of a transaction nowadays. And now with this new component coming up where it takes a little bit more time at the end of the transaction, you just can't close the transaction tomorrow like we can today.
Well, the line on the contract says on or before this date we will close. So you have the option to close before if you'd like. So, because this law was supposed to come into effect,
August 1st.
Yeah,
August 1st.
We've had our realtors putting in 45 days since then. And it's worked out fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of new changes. Actually, the new HUD handbook, the FHA handbook, actually came out. It's going to be out officially on Monday. So even there's new guidelines always changing, including the FHA guidelines. Some not significant changes, but a few changes that definitely come into play and regarding student loans and things of that nature.
You know what, Alex? I wanted to show you. I have an offer, and I have a backup offer, a real one in writing. I wanted to show you. That's not a fictitious backup offer. I know you always give me a hard time.
No, I don't.
Isn't that the same one that you guys all share?
I don't give you a hard time. Everybody else a hard time about it.
Okay.
You know. Well, we have a backup cash offer if you don't close tomorrow. Oh,
right before we
on that, dude.
Right before we dive into this purchase conversation, 248-539-9797. Let's go out to Megan, and you might be on a cell phone. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem. Good morning, Megan.
Morning.
So what's going on?
I have a question regarding my mortgage. I've been divorced for a couple of years, and my ex-husband and I are both still on the mortgage. And now he is going to be getting another home, and so I was just wondering what steps to take to get the home in my name now.
It's actually just a regular old refinance. We would just take him off. It's pretty simple. Are you working full time, Megan?
I'm not. I have alimony right now and child support.
Okay, so you can qualify based on the alimony and child support. We actually need 6 months history of on-time support, paid on time, and we can use that to qualify. Do you want to keep the house? Obviously, that's your goal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can take him off. It's a regular old refinance. It's a pretty simple transaction.
Yeah, and do it now while the kids are still young enough, obviously, to qualify using that income. We can use, again, both of those sources of income you have, the alimony and child support, are both effective income. So you could use that.
Okay, and then is there something I can do about the deed?
What do you mean? You want to take him off the deed as well?
I read somewhere about like quick claim deed.
Yeah, that'll happen at closing when he comes off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick claim deed.
Yeah, that doesn't remove him from the mortgage now, so he's not able to move on with his situation. And again, more importantly, he would still be on that mortgage with you.
Okay.
It's actually it's a pretty easy deal, Megan. I'll call after the show and get it taken care of for you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Cool. Thanks, Megan.
Okay, easy
Yeah.
stuff. Again, sometimes the first step, and you see that a lot in divorce situations, it'll stay on there, who's going to keep the home, what the plan is. And when it's not spelled out, it becomes a problem. In this case, it most likely states that in order for her to keep the home, she would remove his name from the mortgage, which means she needs to refinance the transaction. A quick claim deed just takes his name off the title.
Right.
It's not even really legal, I don't think, because of the fact that he's already signed documents that says he's not going to do that because he's already liable.
He's still obligated to the mortgage. Yeah, it's still his responsibility, so it's no big deal.
We'd love to hear from you. 248-539-9797. Again, we're brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. If you want to close on a purchase, get it done the right way, be sure to call Capital. Also, you can always send us emails to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com, and we always get back with you right away. Dan Dubinsky, no doubt, Skyward Realty has been extremely busy over the last several years since we've known you. And more importantly, the continuation of this fast pace of home purchasing, it appears to maybe just continue throughout the year now.
Yeah, we're finding our inventory has been getting bought up. I think part of it has to do with the schools, but the prices are still good. That we're seeing that everything's pointing to appreciation happening, and it's the pride of ownership too. People who've been renting see the difference in how much money you're losing when you're renting compared to buying, and along with the interest rates, it makes it a prime time to be a purchaser.
Yeah, a lot of the neighbors even. A lot of times you'll have a house, and all of a sudden the house next door gets sold and becomes a rental. And I'll tell you, I mean, it's okay, and a lot of times that landlord keeps up the property, but nothing like having that home ownership next door too, having your neighbor who owns it.
Well, here's the history is what happened was people had choices 4 or 5 years ago. Could you walk away from your home, or because you had to move, or would you rent it out? And so they turned them into rentals. And what's happened is they see that they started to cash flow. They started to make money on them, and instead of selling them now, they are keeping them as rentals. And fortunately, they're making money on them, and we're finding more and more.
Who said that 5 years ago?
You did.
Oh,
you said buy low.
Who said that 5 years ago? Don't walk away, rent it.
Well, what happened too was nice was that we had the Hollywood industry in town, right? So they were still paying high numbers when the sales prices were low, but they were paying high rental numbers,
right?
And they moved out, but now the economy is better, and those numbers are still about the same. And you see, there's an article 2 weeks ago in the paper how investment properties are booming right now, and if you have the ability to buy one, buy some.
Yeah, a lot to talk about purchases this morning. Let's move on to a couple calls here. We've got Josh out in Clarkston. Good morning, Josh. How you feeling?
Good. How you doing?
Good. What's up, man?
Doing great.
What do you got for
I
us?
just had a question. I've got a variable mortgage rate. It's been for a long time at like 2.87. Finally went to 3 this last year. All this talk about mortgage rates going up. I'm considering going to a 15-year to see what your guys' thoughts were on that.
I think it's a great way to go, man. I mean, you can lock in probably near where you're at right now, maybe a little bit higher. I mean, people don't realize the amount of savings they accumulate by paying your loan off in 15 years. I mean, what's the balance on your mortgage right now, Josh?
$80,000.
I mean, you're gonna, go ahead.
I got quite a bit down. We've been trying to pay a couple $100 a month extra on it for the term just to try to get it down, but I'm just scared of the mortgage rates going up.
Yeah, I mean, your arm is definitely going to go. Eventually, it's going to go up. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. But if we can lock it on a 15-year and be done with it, I mean, you're going to save 30, 40 grand easily, man.
Yeah,
I think it's a great way to go.
All right, then you guys take care of that stuff.
I will. I'll call after the show, man. We'll get it taken care of for you.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Josh. Awesome. Thank you for the call. 248-539-9797. We got tons to share with you. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Everybody ready?
With all the flavors you know and love, Faygo is the one true.
If you want a paint that's more than just easy to scrub, if you want a paint that actually repels dirt and grime, if you want a paint that can stand up to life's wear and tear, and then some, if you want all this premium performance, plus smooth application, then only one paint can do. Regal Select from Benjamin Moore. Visit BenjaminMoore.com or your authorized retailer to find Regal Select and see why only this can. Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other.
Football season is here, and people are going crazy for FanDuel.com's one-week fantasy football leagues. Listen to what real players on the site are saying.
FanDuel, easily by far, is the best fantasy website on the planet.
FanDuel takes all the fun of the entire 17-week football season and condenses it into 1 week.
With FanDuel, there's no season-long commitment. You have a new chance to win every week.
FanDuel's paying us $75 million a week this football season. Do you want to get a piece of the pie?
With FanDuel, you get your winnings right away. There's no messing around.
If you're playing fantasy sports and you're not playing FanDuel, you are crazy.
Plus, right now, FanDuel is giving you a bonus of up to $200 that gets earned as you play. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200. The only way to get this one-time bonus offer is to go to FanDuel.com, click the microphone in the upper right corner, and enter the promo code 3434. That's FanDuel.com, promo code 3434.
Get the most out of the rest of the golf season. Tee it up with Vargo Golf Company at one of Vargo's 9 Metro Detroit courses from St. Clair to Ann Arbor. Download the free Vargo Golf app on your smartphone for great late season specials and book your tee time right from the app. Also, with 3 beautiful wedding and banquet facilities, you can think Vargo for your special event. Call Vargo at 248-693-7170 or find out more at VargoGolf.com. Vargo Golf, your best shot from tee to green.
Two Broke Girls 5 nights a week presents Max and Caroline's Top 5 Blue Plate Specials.
5, the number of ponies I got for my 5th birthday. 5, the number of cigarettes I smoked on my 5th birthday. 5, the number of billions my father stole in a Ponzi scheme. 5, the number of beers my mom drank for breakfast.
5, the number of nights you can watch Two Broke Girls every week. And since you're home, pants are optional, like mine are now. Two Broke Girls
Premiere September 21st at 7:30 on CW50.
Nothing beats the smell of a sweet meal on a warm summer day. For a limited time, get a free 4G LTE phone or up to $100 off when you switch to Boost Mobile. Now that's a sweet deal, and we're making sure everyone knows it. I'll hit you with it again. Get a free 4G LTE phone like the Moto E, the ZTE Speed, or the LG Tribute, or up to $100 off select phones. Now go ahead, follow that sweet new deal smell down to your nearest Boost Mobile retailer for details. Offer ends 9/30/15. Available for new monthly plan activations porting from non-Sprint related carriers at participating dealers in select market for select devices. While supplies last, excludes BoostMobile.com or national retailers. Requires activation on monthly plan $35 or greater and payment of first month service. Discount applied towards purchase of phone, excludes taxes. Boost has no annual contracts. Taxes and fees may apply when adding funds to accounts. Coverage and offers not available everywhere. Offer prohibited use rules and other restrictions apply. See participating dealer for details.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable odds. Then there's downtown Vegas, Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. Tune in tomorrow as the Lions take on the San Diego Chargers. Game time 4:05. Presented by Ford, the official automotive company of the Detroit Lions Radio Network.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Patrick J's Irish Pub. Michigan football today at AM 950 WWJ. The home opener for the Jim Harbaugh era begins at 12 noon today against Oregon State. Beavers are 1-0. The Wolverines lost 24-17 at Utah last week. Meanwhile, tonight, 8 p.m., marquee matchup of the day. Number 7, Oregon, visiting number 5, Michigan State. Michigan State a slight favorite in that one, trying to avenge a 19-point loss out west a year ago. Lions football tomorrow right here on 97.1 The Ticket, or Lions flagship station. Lions open up the season in San Diego at 4:05 p.m. to kickoff. Tigers and Indians rained out last night. They'll try it again tonight with Justin Verlander pitching against rookie Cody Anderson. 6:40 right here on The Ticket. From the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 971theticket.com.
If you ever miss Valenti and Foster on 97.1 The Ticket, you can always hear their highlights at play.it, your new podcast network for best-in-class on-demand shows.
Welcome back to the show, 932. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. You can give us a call here live in the studio, 248-539-9797. Man, we got tons to talk about. Purchasing a home. Yeah, all those great homes were taken up, Dan Dubinsky, but the ones that are left are definitely available for 203K loans. There's a lot of opportunities out there. A lot of families that didn't sell over the summer, maybe they're considering reducing their price, maybe a little bit more on the way of negotiating some better terms to get their house sold. So again, there's still many, many opportunities out there. Actually, we talked about interest rates earlier in the show, and we're going to get to some of these calls. The message always has been hurry before the rates go up. But there's a hidden message in there. It's not like hurry before the rates go up, but hurry to start saving money. Right. Hurry up and take care of your financial house. And that's the key to it, is get things done in a timely manner. A lot of families have been paying off land contracts, consolidating debt, and the savings are really, really good. And then also there's a lot of families that'll come to us and they need a mortgage now, and only to find out that they haven't recorded the deed and things of this nature. So again, try to do things a little bit faster, or at least find out what it takes to get the loan done. It's going to save you money.
You have people that come to us all the time and say, well, we want to save a little bit more money and put 20% down and whatever. Well, say that time, what happens to homes over the time in the past 5 years, they appreciate. So the money you're saving is the house is going to go up in that too. So you don't really need 20% down, and that's why people need to be educated. They think you need 20% down sometimes to not pay the PMI. They don't know all the programs that are offered, and that's why they really need to be educated. And really the first place a home buyer should stop is you guys, the mortgage lender.
That's people too. They have to make a decision. And I talked to a bunch of callers last week that they said, well, we've been thinking about moving for a few years and we haven't refinanced yet because we're going to move. Well, what do you pay? Well, we're paying 6.5% right now. So you've literally wasted 36 months of savings. Let's call it, I don't know, $150, $200 a month. I mean, you got to make a decision. You have to have a plan together. You can't just go through. I mean, listen, I don't plan my life that much, but when it comes to like business and finance, I plan that. I mean, I can't tell you where what's going to be next week, but I can tell you where my mortgage is at, where my IRA is at, where my 401k is at, all my assets. I mean, you got to make a plan for that, and you have to stick with it. You can't just if you're going to move in 2 years, you have to commit to say we're moving in 2 years, and if we're not going to move in 2 years, we're going to refinance now.
There you go. Get it done the right way.
Make a move and make a decision.
Let's go out to the east side. Here we got Chuck out in Grosse Pointe. Good morning, Chuck. Welcome to our show. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Quick question with regards to purchase loan, and once the inspection is done and they do find some things that need to be fixed, what is the protocol and who covers it? And I know you can always work that into the negotiation, but if there are like some things with regards to the furnace, the electrical box that are either not code or considered illegal, how should you handle that in terms of going back to the seller?
Well, the word really isn't illegal. They're just not up to code. And you're going to find a lot of homes aren't up to code. So, a buyer or seller will fill out a seller's disclosure to the best of their ability, and that makes the purchaser comfortable in putting an offer in. But of course, you're going to find surprises, and that's why you have a private inspection. There's 3 things you can do after inspection. You can walk away from the home and get your earnest money back. You can ask for the seller to fix the items that you found, or you can ask for a credit for those items. Majority of the time, we like to just get a credit.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that credit. It's a seller. You can do a credit towards seller's concessions towards closing cost and prepaids. You can't just get money. The seller just can't give you money.
They
Right?
They can reduce the price of the house.
There you go.
They can do a credit for prepaid. So at the end of the day, you have some money in your pocket to do those items. If you choose to have the seller do those items, I always put in there that the language essentially is that the seller will repair furnace, electrical to purchaser's satisfaction prior to closing. That leaves no room for putting a used furnace in or anything like that. So that really what you want to do is sit down with your realtor, and before you send over the addendum, have your realtor reach out to the listing agent and find out, okay, how are these people able to come to the table and do the repairs, or will they be more apt to give you a credit at the time of closing? And most people know that if this inspection found something wrong, it's going to be found in the next inspection if they decide they don't want to do anything.
There you go.
So that's how you have to really push. You really let them know that this is not just a one-time thing. Other people are going to find this, and it has to be addressed. And here's the thing too: once they're aware of it, now they have to put that on the seller's disclosure. For the
They can get in trouble, and we got some funny stories about that. Not so funny for some of the sellers that try to pull one over some folks. What do you think, Chuck? Good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, they have their own electrician kind of review the electrical box, and he deemed it as okay. Which
that's irrelevant.
We had our electrical guy come in, and it was deemed nowhere near okay. So now we're kind of playing, tit for tat on whose opinion is more appropriate. But we know for sure that it's not code. There's too many circuits for the 200 amp box, and so forth and so on. So now we're just kind of determining who's going to cover it and how do we move forward.
Well, if it's not to code, then it's not to code, and there's no way that the other electrical guy can say it's okay.
Right.
You may want to bring in a third independent party in if people think that that's your guy and that's their guy, and say, okay, what is this third guy?
Can we hold a horse? I had a quick question here. How big's this house? Because how big's the house?
About 3,500 square feet.
It's a nice size house, so 200 plus amp service is going to work just fine and dandy. I don't even understand why there's a question. We're not talking about an outrageous amount of money at all. It cannot be more than $1,500 to $2,000.
Here's what we find, though. We got
it estimated at $1,200.
Yeah.
So people get stuck in the fact that, okay, I want to win. It's something that's an emotional thing. How to split the cost, right? It's really if that's the issue.
I would have split the cost until he had his a horrible electrician. Obviously stayed alive.
Chuck, I wouldn't split it. I would just tell him
the contingency is we would have if we do have a split, we would want our guy to do the work, not their guy.
Of course, absolutely,
without a doubt. Does your guy say it's $1,200? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Then have your guy do it. Tell him to give him $600 and call it a day. I mean, that's again at the end of the day, you like the house, you want to move forward, but you don't let little things like this stop you from getting what you really want.
Right.
Got it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Good luck on that. 248-539-9797. We might have lost a caller or two. Let's move on to Larry in St. Clair. Good morning, Larry. You're live on the ticket.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good morning, sir.
I got a question. I went through a bankruptcy of Chapter 13, and it expired in January.
What do you mean expired? What does that mean? It expired.
It was released.
So it was
paid off.
Discharged. It was discharged.
Correct.
Okay.
So obviously my credit's kind of in the hole. I'm like high 6. My wife's credit, for whatever reason, is in the low 7s. But I own my home. I own 2 vehicles. I own everything that I have. I don't have any debt whatsoever. But what I'd like to do is get an equity line so I can build a garage or pole barn on my property. And my bank refuses. Nobody will give me the credit to do it.
It's because you started bankruptcy.
Right. So I guess then it's not going to happen. Nobody can help me.
Well, you got to heal. You know, obviously after a couple of years out of that discharge, you're going to be able to do some refinancing. There's equity in the house?
It's paid for.
Oh, it's free and clear. So you just need a small home equity loan. Yeah, because I bet, when was that discharge date?
January.
January.
This past January?
It's been 9 months, man.
I don't know. I'll make a call or two. There might be someone, just because you own the house free and clear, maybe there's a local There might be something out there for you. What was the situation? Did you have any situation that caused that circumstance that caused your bankruptcy, Larry?
We opened a small business in 206.
Yeah.
And it was just beginning to thrive, and then 208 hit, and it was actually a dog grooming business. And the last thing people are going to do when the crunch came was pay to have their dog.
See, now I love Larry because he's a dog guy.
He's a dog guy.
Now I'm more committed to I'm more committed to the phone call. I wasn't listening.
Now you're going to make.
Now that I know that he's
Alex will loan you the money, Larry. You're all set.
Now that I know he's a dog lover, now I'm committed to the call.
Larry, we'll make some calls for you,
we'll
obviously.
Make some phone calls for you. Yeah, and we'll see if we can hook you up, man. We'll figure something out.
If not, it might be a time situation, Larry. Thanks for the call.
Thanks, Larry.
Okay, all right, we're up against a break. 248-539-9797. We come back. We got tons to talk about: refinancing, purchasing a home, and a whole lot more.
Hey, Superdad, when you're not at work, you're with your family or attacking that honey-do list. Sitting around while a mechanic changes your oil is time you don't have. Valvoline Instant Oil Change gets your time back with their quick and easy drive-through service. Find one nearby at fullserviceoilchange.com.
We all love trees, and so does DTE Energy. That's why they have some timely information and tips about them. And here to talk about that is Tom from DTE. Hey there, Tom.
Hi there.
Tom, tell me about these trees.
DTE has been a leader in tree planting initiatives across the state. In fact, we've planted over 2 million trees. But while we want to support a clean, beautiful environment, we also need to provide reliable energy.
Well, everyone wants their power to be reliable.
Sure we do. But trees can make your power less reliable when they grow too close to power lines. In fact, 2/3 of the time our customers are without power is because of trees. That's why we have to trim them sometimes.
I think people would understand that.
Great. Remember, the trees you plant grow up and out. So if a tree will grow up to 20 feet high, plant it at least 20 feet away from any power lines. That way you can help preserve trees and keep the power on.
Keep the trees, keep the power on. Makes sense. Learn more at dteenergy.com/treecare. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
At AAA, we believe that sometimes less is more, like a score in golf, or the number of mosquitoes at a barbecue, and especially car accidents. Well, 0 accidents would be ideal, but say you're in one. Normally, you have to make call after call to a tow company, a claims agent, a repair shop, and a rental service. Not with auto insurance through AAA, because you get Accident Assist free with every policy. And that means one call does it all. Yep, just one call for your tow, claim, repairs, and rental. See? Less. But not only that, you'll pay less money for your auto insurance, like an average of $408 less, which means you can afford to do a lot more. One call, less money out of your wallet. It's just another way you can expect something more with auto insurance through AAA. Call 1-800-AAA-MORE to get a quote today. Insurance underwritten by Auto Club Insurance Association, Auto Club Group Insurance Company, or Member Select Insurance Company. New customers saved an average of $408 a year. Savings were based on 2014 results provided by new customers reporting dollar differences between past carriers and insurance through AAA.
The sound of commerce. Every day at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and Blue Care Network, we get to go to work with companies like yours. Companies that crunch numbers, transport goods, and move merchandise. From law offices to heavy machinery, Blue Cross is proud to be on the job for you with the coverage and security your employees recognize and trust. We know business is personal. The people you work with can feel like family. That's why we give you the tools to protect them while also providing you with affordable, complete insurance solutions on the business end. Maybe that's why more workers and businesses choose us than any other health insurer in Michigan. No matter what business you're in, our business will help protect your employees. So talk to your Blue Cross agent today or visit bcbsm.com/employers. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card.
Hello, Hideaway Bar in Taylor.
Is my husband Joe there? He's been gone for 3 hours.
No, Joe's not here. Joe, your wife called again.
This burger's awesome.
Every guy needs a place to hide away. That's why there's the Hideaway Bar on Allen Road in Taylor. If you're anywhere near Allen and North Line Road, you gotta hit the Hideaway's Bikini Luncheon. Choose from a killer variety of Angus burgers, gourmet sandwiches, fresh homemade soups, and more. Served by a waitress in a bikini. What more do you need? The Hideaway Bar on Allen Road in Taylor. Visit hideawaytaylor.com.
97.1 The Ticket is proud to join 2 hometown favorites, the Detroit Tigers and the Karmanos Cancer Institute, for the 4th annual Pink Out the Park, Friday, September 18th, when the Detroit Tigers face the Kansas Kansas City Royals at Comerica Park. The event is sponsored by Delta Airlines. Wear pink to the game and go pink in the community to show your support for breast health awareness and cancer prevention. Special in-stadium sale promotions will benefit breast cancer research at the Carmanis Cancer Institute. For information, visit tigers.com. Tomorrow, get out to the Lake Point Yacht Club on Ann Arbor Road in Livonia from 4 to 6 and meet the 97.1 The Ticket Street Team. They'll have your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Lions home opener September 27th. And since you're there, you might as well watch the game. More at 971theticket.com. Then Monday night at 6:45, meet 97.1 The Ticket and the voice of the Lions, Dan Miller, at TAP at MGM Grand Detroit for the Lions Review Show. TAP is family friendly, so bring the kids. For more, go to 971theticket.com.
The football team that Detroiters love most. The Detroit Lions live here.
Welcome back to the show. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call at Capital, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Also, you can call us live in the studio, 248-539-9797. Always your emails at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. We're in our 15th season, coming up on our 16th year. If they allow us next year, we'll see if we don't ruin that. And Alex, you never know. You never know. Exactly. Important dates. Yeah, there's some important guideline changes. Recently, the USDA increased the upfront fee to 2.75%. As mentioned earlier in the show, the TRID, the new Truth in Lending and RESPA disclosures coming out, along with the loan disclosure and closing disclosure documents. And, of course, the FHA made a few changes that go in effect on Monday. Nothing significant out there, but if you're purchasing a house, yeah, you want to hurry up and get things in order. So find out what it takes to get a house, get a mortgage, and make sure that you can go ahead into home ownership. I mean, a lot of benefits to home ownership. I wrote a whole bunch, Dan, but we'll get to those right after this. Andy's calling about purchasing a co-op unit in Sterling Heights. Hey, good morning, Andy. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning, sir.
Good. Hey, I just want to thank you and appreciate your show. You guys give out a lot of great information.
Awesome.
Situation
Thanks, man.
we have a young man. He's a disabled adult, learning disabled, along with his significant other who's also a disabled learning adult, and they're looking to go in together and purchase a cooperative unit, and we want to understand share loans, and would each individual look at getting their own loan towards the cooperative unit, or would that have to be a single loan that they would both go on? And where's a good place to go get share loans?
It's tough, man. You're gonna have to do some research online to figure that out, because it's not a residential mortgage at all. It's like you said, you're basically buying into a co-op. You're buying a portion of it, so they need, it's a cash investment basically.
They approve you. Actually, that co-op would actually approve you.
So I mean, I can do some research for you and touch base on Monday with you. I'm sure there are companies out there that specialize in those types of loans. But I mean, you're basically, like I said, you're buying into it. It's like you're almost buying into. I don't want to say a stock, but you're buying into. It's like an investment. You're buying into a stock. You need the cash to purchase a co-op share.
Right.
Most of the terms offered we see on those are just strictly cash.
Oh, straight up cash offers on them, or you can perhaps borrow from the actual co-op. Maybe they loan the money. I'm not 100% sure.
We see all the terms always seem to be cash, and I don't know.
Hey, let us do this, Andy. One of the things, I'll give you the first advice is call the actual places that they're looking at. If they've already looked at 2 or 3 complexes and they're looking at these co-ops, find out how people go ahead about obtaining financing for them. Is it through them, or do they have to go to an outside source? I think the answers are going to lie within the actual community. So have them go that route. We'll follow up with a phone call. I'll try to gain some more information on. We don't do that type of lending, so I don't even think it exists. Right. I actually think they lend their own money, or you buy into it. You buy into the co-op. But yeah, find out through that the actual units he's looking at, and we'll go from there. Okay.
If I may, one more quick question for myself. I'm looking to combine a home mortgage and an old HELO loan that I got hanging out there. Would I be able to combine those and refi?
Sure, as long as equity in the property, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have equity in the property, sir?
Yeah, some.
Okay, yeah, let me call through the show, run some numbers before I get it taken care of.
Great, appreciate it.
Good deal.
Very
Thank you,
much,
sir. Take care, man.
Okay.
There you go, Andy. First question a little harder. The second one's easy. Just consolidate your first and second mortgage and save a ton of money. Refinance your house by consolidating debt. You're going to come out on the other end really liking what the new numbers look like. It's just always night and day. And again, with so many families taking advantage of not only the lower interest rates, but reducing the term of these mortgages, the savings become very, very large. Astronomical savings, we'll say, but the savings are humongous when you can remove 5 year payment, 5 years of your payments. Alex used to use the simple math. If your house payment's $1,000 a month, principal and interest will say, and you no longer have that that's $60,000 in 5 years. So again, the numbers are there. Figure out ways to have home ownership. Hey, maybe one day you'll own a house and not even have a house payment. That's sort of the idea. Pay it off one day so you can live rent free. 248-539-9797. I'm going to move off to Fred. Good morning, Fred from Ypsilanti. Good morning, sir.
Oh, how you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I appreciate your show. I was concerned about paying off paying my house when I may not be able to pay my house. If I pass away, can my son finish paying off? I have that PMI on my mortgage also. Can he pay it off for me if I'm passed away?
When you pass away, if he's not on the title to the property, first of all, the house needs to be in an estate. So or in a living trust. So that's what the first thing you have to do, because that way a lot of them go to him and it'll skip probate. So there's certain things you have to do to prepare yourself, and prepare your family if you do pass away.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So could I that PMI has it changed anything in years for a person can get off of? Because when I purchased this home, they had some kind of law at that time. Whereas when I purchased it, I can't get out of PMI unless I refinance. Has anything changed since the 80s?
Yeah, a lot of things have changed since then. When did you buy the house? How long ago?
Oh, I bought the house in she's 3 years. I bought this house in 1993. I bought it in 93.
Bought the house in 1993. That should be almost paid for. The PMI should already fallen off.
But they said Congress did something where
Hey, Fred.
They say it can't fall off.
Fred, let's do this. Can you grab your closing documents from the mortgage you have now? Grab your package over the weekend. Grab your mortgage and then grab your mortgage coupon. Okay, get it in your hand so that when we call you, we're able to have some conversation about what the numbers look like. Okay?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, let us check it out for you. We appreciate the call.
Awesome. Thanks, Fred.
All right, 248-539-9797. If you want to sneak in a call, let's move on to Renee. Hey, good morning, Renee. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Renee, what's up, man?
Is it Renee or Renee? I'm sorry.
Renee.
Oh, hey, Renee. Go ahead, sir.
My wife and I bought a condo in December of 2013.
Yeah.
And we checked with the mortgage company, and everything was fine because we had gone through a short sale, and there was like 3 mortgages, and they all agreed to the payoffs. Well, when we get to the closing...
Why are you out of breath, Renee? Hold on. Don't be nervous. It's okay.
We got to the closing. I look, and it's an adjustable rate mortgage, and it's 4 3/4%.
Well, you had a short sale.
Well, it sounds like you might want to refinance. In other words, you bought a house, you had a situation, you bought a house, you closed in 2013. Here we are a year and a half, 2 years later, and you're looking at your documents. You're not happy with the mortgage that you closed with. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, let's
refinance it.
I wanted a fixed rate. I didn't want...
Right. You went to the wrong lender. They jammed you up. You need to fix your mortgage. I can tell you this. Your mortgage does not have a prepayment penalty. You should be able to go ahead and refinance it again. You just bought it a year and a half ago. Hopefully it's got some built-in equity. Renee, we're up against the clock here, so we're going to follow up with you, and we'll see if we can refinance your place into a fixed rate. We thank you for the call.
Okay, thank you.
Very good, sir. Maybe time for Jenny. Let's go to Jenny real quick. Maybe sneak her in. Jenny, go quick. What's your call?
I had a bankruptcy and a foreclosure back in 2011, and it was because I got hurt at work. And I can't really find a place that will give me a loan now. So I was wondering if you could direct me to someone that...
Jenny, It's a great question. I'm sorry I got hurt at work, and I'm sorry you lost your house. But you can probably take it FHA. You need 3 years after a short sale to go from there.
Yeah, we'll call you up after. Thanks for the call, Jamie. We really appreciate it. All the phone calls coming in today. We've got tons of sports here on 97.1 all weekend long. Be sure to keep it here. For Alex Nafuski, Dan Dubinsky, I'm Harvey Free. We will see you next Saturday.
Proceeding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike Belton has a cold. Yesterday, he hit his thumb with a hammer. And he just ate some questionable clams.
Uh-oh.
And yet,
I feel like $1 million.
A $1 million jackpot. It's the new $10 instant game from the Michigan Lottery, loaded with prizes, all the way up to $1 million. And with over 20 chances to win on every ticket, there are plenty of big prizes to go around. How does that make you feel, Mike?
Oh, like $1 million.
Do you feel like $1 million? Play new $1 million jackpot and put some play in your day.
Clam?
No. Hey, Club Keno players, Doubler Days are back, and so is Professional Double Talker.
Dr. Professor Irving Corey, Ph.D., D as in Doubler Days.
I think they got it.
It's a way for players to multiply by a factor of 2, or double, if you will, their fun and excitement, or fun-citement, if I may, and I just did.
Let me translate. Random Club Keno tickets are printed with a doubler message. If your ticket has the message and you win, you'll double your prize up to $4 million.
I couldn't have said it better myself, which I am.
All this month, winning is twice as nice with Club Keno Doubler Days from the Michigan Lottery.
So to speak, and I should, so I will.
To navigate any map, you need a legend like the capable Jeep Cherokee, 4-Wheeler Magazine's 2015 4-Wheeler of the Year, and Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever, with best-in-class 30 mpg highway and 730-mile driving range. So you can push even farther into uncharted and unmapped territory. Get a great deal on the most awarded and legendary SUV lineup ever at the Jeep Celebration event. Well-qualified employee lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2015 Jeep Cherokee Latitude 4x4 for $241 a month for 36 months with $241 due at signing. Tax, title, and license extra. The Jeep SUV lineup has received more awards in its lifetime than any other competitive SUV.